Okay, here's the story, meticulously following the instructions and constraints. Kim Soo-hyun's fan was humiliated at a mall. His response made headlines worldwide. The flashbulbs were blinding, the murmuring crowd a low, persistent hum. Kim Soo-hyun, the name that echoed through Seoul's entertainment industry and beyond, stood frozen, a knot tightening in his stomach. The scene unfolding before him, captured by 100 phone cameras, was a nightmare in broad daylight. It was happening in the gleaming atrium of the Coex Mall, a place usually synonymous with shopping and leisure, now transformed into a stage for public humiliation. The seed of this chaos had been planted weeks ago, a whisper of a rumor online about a fan event, an impromptu gathering where Soo-hyun might make a surprise appearance. The rumor was false, of course, planted by overzealous fans hoping to conjure their idol into existence. But the internet had a way of birthing its own realities. Among the hopefuls drawn to the Coex Mall that day was Park Soon-hee, a young woman in her early 20s. Soon-hee wasn't just any fan, she was a dedicated artist, her sketchbook filled with meticulously rendered portraits of Soo-hyun, capturing every nuance of his expressions, every subtle shift in his gaze. She'd even taught herself basic Korean just to better understand his interviews. For Soon-hee, Soo-hyun wasn't just a celebrity, he was an inspiration, a beacon of talent and dedication. She arrived early, clutching her sketchbook, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. The crowd was already significant, a swirling mass of teenagers and young adults, all buzzing with anticipation. As the hours passed, the crowd swelled, becoming increasingly unruly. Security guards, hired by the mall to manage the potential influx of people, struggled to maintain order. And that's when it happened. Soon-hee, standing near a fountain, was sketching Soo-hyun from memory, her brow furrowed in concentration. A group of older, wealthier women, dripping in designer labels and radiating an air of entitlement, approached her. They were Soo-hyun fans too, or at least, they claimed to be. "Look at this," one of them sneered, pointing at Soon-hee's sketchbook. "Another delusional fan. Thinking she can get his attention with drawings?" The others laughed, a cruel, high-pitched sound that echoed through the atrium. "Her clothes are practically rags," another woman added, her voice dripping with disdain. "She probably can't even afford a proper ticket to his shows." Soon-hee's cheeks burned with shame. She tried to ignore them, to focus on her drawing, but their words were like needles, pricking at her self-esteem. The leader of the group, a woman with a severe expression and a diamond-encrusted handbag, stepped closer. She snatched Soon-hee's sketchbook, flipping through the pages with a critical eye. "These are pathetic," she declared, her voice loud enough for the surrounding crowd to hear. "He would never waste his time on someone like you. You're just embarrassing yourself." Tears welled up in Soon-hee's eyes. She reached for her sketchbook, but the woman held it out of reach. "Maybe this will teach you a lesson," she said, and with a swift, deliberate motion, she ripped the sketchbook in half, tearing Soo-hyun's face into jagged pieces. The crowd gasped. Soon-hee stood frozen, her heart shattered into a million pieces, mirroring the torn pages in her hands. The woman tossed the ruined sketchbook at her feet. "Go home, peasant," she spat. "You don't belong here." Humiliated and heartbroken, Soon-hee stumbled away, pushing through the crowd, desperate to escape the judging eyes and the cruel laughter. She found a quiet corner near a Starbucks, huddled against the wall, and sobbed. Unbeknownst to Soon-hee, a young man, a barista at the Starbucks, had witnessed the entire incident. He was a quiet, observant individual, and he recognized the look of genuine passion in Soon-hee's eyes as she sketched. He also recognized the cruelty and the blatant classism in the women's behavior. He discreetly recorded the scene on his phone. Later that evening, fueled by righteous anger, he uploaded the video to social media. He captioned it, "This is not what fandom should be. This is bullying. This is disgusting." The video went viral within hours. The hashtag Protect Soon-hee trended worldwide. People were outraged by the women's behavior, by their blatant display of wealth and their callous disregard for Soon-hee's feelings. The video even reached Soo-hyun's management team. Soo-hyun was in the middle of filming a new drama when he saw the video. He was horrified. He recognized the location instantly, the Coex Mall, a place he often visited anonymously. He watched the video again and again, his anger growing with each viewing. He couldn't believe that his fans, or at least people claiming to be his fans, could be so cruel. He immediately contacted his management team. He wanted to do something, anything, to help Soo-hyun. He couldn't stand the thought of her suffering because of the actions of these hateful women. His initial instinct was to issue a public statement, condemning the women's behavior and expressing his support for Soo-hyun. But his manager, a seasoned veteran of the entertainment industry, advised caution. "A statement is good, Soo-hyun, he said, but it's not enough. It'll be forgotten in a week. We need to do something more impactful, something that truly shows your support." That's when Soo-hyun had an idea. A crazy, audacious idea that could potentially backfire, but one that he felt compelled to pursue. He knew he had to meet Soo-hyun, to apologize to her in person, and to show her that her talent and her passion were valued. The next day, Soo-hyun's management team contacted the barista who had uploaded the video. They tracked down Soo-hyun through him. She was hesitant at first, overwhelmed by the attention and still reeling from the humiliation. But after a heartfelt phone call from Soo-hyun's manager, she agreed to meet him. And that's how Kim Soo-hyun found himself standing in the atrium of the Coex Mall, the very place where Soo-hyun had been humiliated, surrounded by a sea of flashing cameras and murmuring voices. He had deliberately chosen this location, knowing that it would be a powerful statement. He had asked Soo-hyun to meet him near the fountain, the same fountain where she had been sketching. When she arrived, she was pale and trembling, her eyes red and swollen. She wore a simple dress and clutched a new sketchbook to her chest. Soo-hyun walked towards her, his expression earnest and apologetic. He bowed deeply, a gesture of respect and humility. "Sun-hee, he said, his voice amplified by a portable microphone. "I am so sorry for what happened to you. I am ashamed that people claiming to be my fans could treat you with such cruelty." He paused, taking a deep breath. "Your art is beautiful," he continued. "I saw your sketches in the video. You have a true gift. And I want you to know that I value your talent and your passion." He then gestured to a nearby table, where his staff had placed a brand new, high-quality sketchbook, along with a set of professional art supplies. "These are for you," he said. "Please, continue to draw. Continue to create. Don't let anyone ever dim your light." But Soo-hyun wasn't finished. He had one more surprise in store. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, framed photograph. It was a picture of Soo-hyun's torn sketchbook, meticulously pieced back together. "I had my team restore your sketchbook," he explained. "Every page, every line. I wanted you to know that nothing is truly broken beyond repair. And I wanted to ask you something. Would you do me the honor of drawing my portrait?" The crowd erupted in cheers. Soo-hyun burst into tears, tears of relief, of gratitude, of vindication. She nodded, unable to speak. Soo-hyun sat down at the table, posing patiently as Soo-hyun began to sketch. The cameras flashed, capturing every moment of this extraordinary encounter. The image of Kim Soo-hyun, one of the most famous actors in South Korea, sitting humbly before a fan he had never met, his face etched with sincerity, went viral. It was a powerful image, a symbol of empathy, of respect, of the true meaning of fandom. The women who had humiliated Soo-hyun were quickly identified and publicly shamed. They issued groveling apologies, but their reputations were irrevocably damaged. They became cautionary tales, examples of the dark side of fandom and the dangers of unchecked privilege. The incident at the Coex Mall sparked a global conversation about fan culture, about the importance of kindness and respect, and about the responsibility of celebrities to use their platform to promote positive values. Kim Soo-hyun's response made headlines worldwide, not just because he was a famous actor, but because he had shown the world what it truly meant to be a role model. He had transformed a moment of humiliation into a moment of empowerment, a moment of division into a moment of unity. In the weeks that followed, Soo-hyun's art gained recognition and acclaim. She held her first solo exhibition, showcasing her portraits of Soo-hyun and other celebrities. She became an inspiration to aspiring artists all over the world, a testament to the power of perseverance and the importance of believing in oneself. And Soo-hyun? He continued to use his platform to advocate for kindness and compassion. He became an outspoken critic of bullying and online harassment. He understood that his influence came with a responsibility, and he was determined to use it for good. Years later, the incident at the Coex Mall was still remembered, not as a story of humiliation, but as a story of redemption, a story of hope, a story of how one act of kindness could change the world. It was a story about Kim Soo-hyun, the actor who showed the world that true stardom wasn't about fame or fortune, but about empathy, integrity, and the courage to stand up for what is right. It was a story about Park Soon-hee, the fan who found her voice and her purpose through art. And it was a story about the power of human connection, the power of forgiveness, and the power of believing in the good in others, even in the face of adversity. The torn sketchbook, meticulously restored, became a symbol of that belief. And that, more than any headline, was the legacy Kim Soo-hyun wanted to leave behind. The years that followed brought significant changes to Soo-hyun's life. Her exhibition had been a resounding success, launching her career into the stratosphere. Galleries clamored for her work, and commissions poured in from across the globe. She became a sought-after portrait artist, her unique style, born from passion and resilience, celebrated by critics and art enthusiasts alike. She even established a foundation dedicated to supporting young, underprivileged artists, providing them with the resources and opportunities she herself had once lacked. Despite her burgeoning success, Soo-hyun never forgot the humiliation she had endured at the Coex Mall. It remained a stark reminder of the cruelty that existed in the world, a constant motivation to use her platform to promote kindness and understanding. She frequently spoke out against bullying and online harassment, sharing her own story as a testament to the power of perseverance and the importance of self-belief. Her relationship with Kim Soo-hyun evolved from a moment of shared vulnerability into a genuine friendship. They stayed in touch, supporting each other's endeavors and offering encouragement during challenging times. Soo-hyun became a regular attendee at her exhibitions, always making time to speak with aspiring artists and offer words of wisdom. He even commissioned her to paint a portrait of his grandmother, a gesture that deeply touched Soo-hyun's heart. The incident at the Coex Mall also had a profound impact on the culture of fandom. Fan groups around the world began to organize anti-bullying campaigns, promoting respect and inclusivity within their communities. Celebrities, inspired by Soo-hyun's example, became more vocal about the importance of treating all fans with kindness and dignity. The toxic elements of fandom, the possessiveness and the entitlement, began to diminish, replaced by a greater sense of camaraderie and mutual support. One day, years after the incident, Soo-hyun received an invitation to attend a charity gala hosted by Kim Soo-hyun. The gala was dedicated to raising funds for anti-bullying organizations, a cause that was deeply personal to both of them. As she prepared for the event, Soo-hyun reflected on the journey she had taken, from a shy, insecure fan sketching in a mall to a successful artist and advocate for social change. When she arrived at the gala, she was greeted warmly by Soo-hyun, who introduced her to his family and friends. The room was filled with celebrities, philanthropists, and activists, all united by a common cause. As the evening progressed, Soo-hyun found herself surrounded by people who admired her work and respected her voice. During the gala, Soo-hyun took to the stage to deliver a speech. He spoke passionately about the importance of creating a world where everyone felt safe and valued, a world where no one had to endure the kind of humiliation that Soo-hyun had experienced. "We all have a responsibility to stand up against bullying and injustice," he declared, his voice resonating with conviction. "We must create a culture of kindness and respect, where everyone is treated with dignity and compassion." He then turned to Soo-hyun, who was seated in the front row. "Sun Hee-si," he said, his eyes filled with admiration. "You are an inspiration to us all. You have shown us that even in the face of adversity, it is possible to rise above and achieve greatness. Thank you for sharing your story and for using your art to make the world a better place." The audience erupted in applause, showering Soo-hyun with love and appreciation. She stood up, her heart overflowing with gratitude. She knew that she had come a long way, and that she still had much to contribute. Later that evening, as the gala drew to a close, Soo-hyun and Soo-hyun found themselves standing alone on the balcony, overlooking the city lights. "Thank you, Soo-hyun-si," Soo-hyun said, her voice filled with emotion. "You changed my life." Soo-hyun smiled. "You changed mine too, Sun Hee-si. You taught me the true meaning of fandom, the true meaning of responsibility." They stood in silence for a moment, contemplating the journey they had shared. The city lights twinkled below, a symbol of hope and possibility. "Do you ever think about those women, the ones who ripped up my sketchbook?" Soo-hyun asked, breaking the silence. Soo-hyun nodded. "Sometimes. I hope they learned a lesson. I hope they understand the damage they caused." Soo-hyun sighed. "I don't hate them anymore. I forgive them. I just hope they can find it in their hearts to be kinder." Soo-hyun placed a hand on her shoulder. "You are a remarkable person, Sun Hee-si. You have a heart of gold." They smiled at each other, a bond of friendship forged in the crucible of adversity. The incident at the Coex Mall had brought them together, transforming them both into advocates for change. As they gazed out at the city lights, Soo-hyun knew that their journey was far from over. There was still much work to be done, many hearts to be touched, many lives to be changed. But she was confident that together, they could make a difference. Together, they could create a world where kindness prevailed, where respect reigned, and where everyone had the opportunity to shine. The headlines that had once focused on humiliation had shifted to stories of hope, resilience, and the transformative power of human connection. Kim Soo-hyun's response had indeed made headlines worldwide, but it was the ripple effect of his actions, the positive change he had inspired, that truly mattered. And that, Soo-hyun knew, was a legacy worth fighting for. The enduring image wasn't the torn sketchbook, but Soo-hyun, years later, standing tall, a beacon of hope, her art a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. And beside her, Kim Soo-hyun, not just a star, but a true human being. The following years saw Soo-hyun and Soo-hyun continue their individual and collaborative efforts towards promoting positive social change. Soo-hyun's foundation flourished, providing scholarships, mentorship programs, and exhibition opportunities for aspiring artists from diverse backgrounds. She became a vocal advocate for arts education in underserved communities, arguing that art was not just a form of self-expression, but a powerful tool for healing, empowerment, and social justice. Soo-hyun, on the other hand, used his platform as a global icon to raise awareness about mental health issues, particularly among young people. He openly shared his own struggles with anxiety and the pressures of fame, encouraging his fans to seek help when needed and to prioritize their well-being above all else. He also partnered with several organizations working to combat cyberbullying, lending his voice and resources to campaigns that promoted online safety and responsible digital citizenship. Their collaborative projects were particularly impactful. They organized joint art exhibitions and charity auctions, raising millions of dollars for various causes. They also produced a series of public service announcements that addressed issues such as bullying, discrimination, and mental health, reaching millions of viewers around the world. One particularly memorable project was a documentary film that chronicled their journey from the Coex Mall incident to their present-day advocacy work. The film, titled Beyond the Headlines, was a raw and honest portrayal of their experiences, highlighting the challenges they faced and the lessons they learned along the way. It featured interviews with Soo-hyun, Soo-hyun, their families, and other individuals who had been impacted by their work. The film was a critical and commercial success, winning numerous awards and inspiring countless people to take action in their own communities. As their influence grew, Soo-hyun and Soo-hyun became increasingly aware of the responsibility that came with it. They were careful to use their platform wisely, always striving to promote positive values and to amplify the voices of those who were often marginalized or overlooked. They understood that their actions had the power to shape public opinion and to inspire real change. One day, Soo-hyun received an invitation to speak at the United Nations General Assembly. She was asked to share her story and to offer her perspective on the role of art in promoting peace and understanding. She was nervous but also deeply honored by the opportunity. In her speech, Soo-hyun spoke about the humiliation she had endured at the Coex Mall and how it had transformed her into an advocate for social justice. She talked about the power of art to transcend cultural barriers and to connect people on a deeper level. She argued that art could be a powerful tool for promoting empathy, understanding, and dialogue, and that it should be used to build bridges between communities and to heal the wounds of conflict. Her speech was met with a standing ovation. Many delegates were moved to tears by her story and by her passionate plea for peace. After the speech, Soo-hyun was approached by numerous world leaders who expressed their admiration for her work and their commitment to supporting her effort. Soo-hyun, who was in the audience, watched Soo-hyun's speech with pride. He knew that she had come a long way from the shy, insecure fan he had met at the Coex Mall. She had become a powerful voice for change, a true inspiration to millions. Later that evening, Soo-hyun and Soo-hyun celebrated their accomplishments with a quiet dinner at a small restaurant in New York City. They reminisced about their journey and reflected on the impact they had made on the world. "We've come a long way, Soo-hyun said, smiling. "We have, Sun-hee, Soo-hyun replied. "And it's all thanks to you. You inspired me to be a better person." Soo-hyun shook her head. "No, it's thanks to both of us. We supported each other, and we never gave up on our dream." They raised their glasses in a toast to their friendship, their collaboration, and their shared commitment to making the world a better place. As they sat there, surrounded by the sounds of the city, they knew that their journey was far from over. There were still many challenges to overcome, many injustices to fight, and many hearts to be touched. But they were confident that together, they could continue to make a difference. Together, they could continue to inspire hope and to promote positive change. The legacy of the Coex Mall incident had extended far beyond the headlines. It had sparked a global movement, a movement that was driven by kindness, compassion, and a shared belief in the power of human connection. And at the heart of that movement were Kim Soo-hyun and Park Seung-hee, two individuals who had transformed a moment of humiliation into a moment of triumph, a moment of division into a moment of unity. Their story would continue to inspire generations to come, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit and the boundless potential of hope. Years passed. Both Seung-hee and Soo-hyun continued their work, their influence deepening and widening. Seung-hee's art evolved, becoming more abstract, more deeply imbued with the emotions and experiences she had gathered over the years. Her portraits were no longer just representations of likeness, but windows into the souls of her subjects, capturing their vulnerabilities, their strengths, and their hopes. Soo-hyun, too, grew as an artist. His acting became more nuanced, more daring. He took on roles that challenged him, that pushed him beyond his comfort zone, that forced him to confront difficult and complex issues. He used his films and dramas as platforms to explore themes of social justice, mental health, and human connection. Their friendship remained a constant in their lives, a source of support, inspiration, and joy. They celebrated each other's successes, comforted each other during difficult times, and challenged each other to grow and evolve. One day, Seung-hee received a phone call from the director of the National Museum of Korea. She was invited to curate a major exhibition showcasing the work of Korean artists who had used their art to promote social change. She was honored by the invitation and immediately accepted. She knew that she wanted to include a piece that represented the Coex Mall incident, a piece that captured the humiliation she had endured and the resilience she had shown. After much deliberation, she decided to create a large-scale installation that incorporated the torn pages of her original sketchbook, meticulously pieced back together and encased in glass. The installation was the centerpiece of the exhibition. It was a powerful and moving reminder of the importance of kindness, compassion, and the courage to stand up against injustice. On the opening night of the exhibition, Soo-hyun stood beside her installation, watching as visitors gazed at it with awe and emotion. She felt a sense of peace and closure, knowing that she had transformed a moment of pain into a source of strength and inspiration. Soo-hyun arrived later that evening, accompanied by his family and friends. He walked straight to Soo-hyun's installation and stood there for a long time, silently contemplating it. When he finally turned to Soo-hyun, his eyes were filled with tears. "It's beautiful, Sun-hee, he said, his voice choked with emotion. "It's a testament to your strength, your resilience, and your unwavering commitment to making the world a better place." Soo-hyun smiled and took his hand. "We did it, Soo-hyun, she said. We turned a moment of darkness into a moment of light." They stood there, hand in hand, surrounded by the beauty and power of art, knowing that their journey was far from over. The world was still full of challenges, but they were confident that together, they could continue to make a difference. Together, they could continue to inspire hope and to promote positive change. The headlines had long since faded, but the legacy of the Kook Mall incident lived on, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit and the transformative potential of kindness and compassion. And at the heart of that legacy were Kim Soo-hyun and Park Soon-hee, two individuals who had shown the world that even the most painful experiences can be transformed into sources of strength, inspiration, and hope. Their story would continue to be told for generations to come, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, light can always be found. The restored sketchbook, now a museum piece, whispered its silent story of resilience, a tangible reminder that even shattered dreams can be pieced back together, stronger and more beautiful than before. And that, above all else, was the true headline, the one that resonated not just in Korea, but around the world: humiliation can be overcome, and kindness, in the end, always wins. The years continued to unfurl, each one adding new chapters to the ongoing saga of Soon-hee and Soo-hyun's impact. Soon-hee, with her increasingly renowned artistry, began teaching art therapy to children who had experienced trauma, using her own story as a powerful example of healing and self-discovery. She found immense satisfaction in witnessing the transformative power of art in their young lives, helping them to express emotions they couldn't articulate in words and rebuild their shattered sense of self. Soo-hyun, ever mindful of his influence, started a foundation dedicated to supporting artists from marginalized communities. He understood the systemic barriers that prevented talented individuals from pursuing their dreams, and he wanted to create opportunities for them to showcase their work and gain the recognition they deserved. He actively mentored young actors and filmmakers, sharing his experiences and providing guidance on navigating the often turbulent waters of the entertainment industry. One day, a film producer approached Soo-hyun with an idea for a movie based on the Kook Mall incident. The producer envisioned a poignant drama that explored the themes of bullying, fandom, and the power of human connection. Soo-hyun was initially hesitant, wary of sensationalizing a deeply personal experience. He discussed the proposal with Soon-hee, seeking her input and blessing. Soon-hee, after careful consideration, agreed that the film could be a powerful tool for raising awareness and promoting empathy. She insisted, however, that the story be told with sensitivity and authenticity, avoiding any exploitative or sensationalistic elements. She also stipulated that a portion of the film's profits be donated to anti-bullying organizations. Soo-hyun and Soon-hee worked closely with the filmmakers, providing input on the script, casting, and overall tone of the film. They wanted to ensure that the story accurately reflected their experiences and that it conveyed a message of hope and resilience. The film, titled The Sketchbook, was released to critical acclaim. It was praised for its nuanced portrayal of the characters, its sensitive handling of the subject matter, and its powerful message of hope and redemption. The film resonated with audiences around the world, sparking conversations about bullying, fandom, and the importance of kindness and empathy. The sketchbook won numerous awards, including the prestigious Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. Soo-hyun and Soo-hyun attended the festival together, walking the red carpet side by side, their presence a powerful symbol of their enduring friendship and their shared commitment to making the world a better place. During the press conference after the screening, Soo-hyun spoke passionately about the film's message. "We wanted to show that even in the face of adversity, it is possible to rise above and achieve greatness," he said. "We wanted to inspire people to be kinder, more compassionate, and more understanding." Soo-hyun added, "We also wanted to show the importance of standing up against bullying and injustice. We all have a responsibility to create a world where everyone feels safe and valued." The success of the sketchbook led to even greater opportunities for Soo-hyun and Soo-hyun to amplify their message. They were invited to speak at schools, universities, and community centers around the world, sharing their story and inspiring others to take action. One particularly memorable event was a youth summit on bullying prevention held at the United Nations headquarters in New York City. Soo-hyun and Soo-hyun delivered keynote speeches, sharing their personal experiences and offering practical advice on how to combat bullying in schools and online. The summit brought together young people from all over the world, creating a powerful sense of community and shared purpose. The participants developed a series of action plans aimed at addressing bullying in their respective communities, and they pledged to work together to create a more inclusive and respectful world. As Soo-hyun and Soo-hyun continued their work, they realized that their impact extended far beyond the realm of art and entertainment. They had become symbols of hope, resilience, and the power of human connection. Their story had inspired millions to be kinder, more compassionate, and more understanding. 1.